Just a second.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so we have Ian Jackson, watercolor painter extraordinaire.
Oh yeah.
And
I'm getting used to it now, aren't I?
Well, it's not okay. I'm saying another E word. You can't cancel out all the E words.
I know. Well, that's not a banned word. That one.
Okay. So okay, but nobody's in the chat yet.
Oh well, they're missing a treat.
So today is going to be well, for the replay. I like to keep talking now. Today is going to be the artist challenging the artist. I mean, we're giving the chat, we're giving people in the audience their choice of which directions he's going to go at different places, like which directions he'll take at different points in the painting, so that the chat is going to have a say. They're going to have a vote or a say in which direction they'd like him to go next, and then which direction different directions all throughout the painting that
if they've got
he'll give the options.
If they've got an interesting observation about where something should be, or it doesn't have to be when I say, right, what's the next step. If someone has a thing that they could say, like add, for example.
Okay, so we have Grace painting in here, and Gracie's in here. Do we have two people in here? And
well, I'm going to get myself set up with all my other bits and bobs that I need.
Hi, Gracie and Grayscale.
I'll let you continue on.
Oh, Carolyn to be free. Welcome. Today, Ian, it's gonna be a participatory painting where he's going to ask the audience at key points during the painting which direction you want him to go. So this is going to be very interesting and exciting.
We'll have to. It's up to me to be able to interpret what our beloved viewers want out of the painting. And so it's going to be a bit of a test, isn't it?
Unless we ask the audience like specific questions, and then that gives them, well, like if you say dark colors or light colors or bright colors or dark colors, like that.
If they've got a common sense point to make that says, right, how about adding this or adding that, then that's fine. But once we've gone down a certain track, we're stuck with that plan of action. Because unlike acrylic and oil painting, you can't really go back on yourself.
Oh, and watercolor, that's right. You cannot make something lighter. You can't make something lighter. You could make it darker. You can't make it, I don't think you can make it brighter. You could maybe possibly, depending on the color, you could make it brighter or you can make it darker. You cannot, in watercolor, you can't go back and make something lighter.
That's right.
Unless you catch it within a few seconds. So in this case, since we take a vote, and we're taking a vote with the audience, he won't be able to do that.
Right, I've popped the chat out.
Or adding things in the composition, that would be something like.
Or if you've got a thing that you might say, oh right, how about it having a bit of this or a bit of that, or. We'll see how it goes. It's very experimental. It may not work, but at least you've all participated in the painting.
Yes, everybody. This is a participatory painting today that he's going to ask the audience at key points which direction to take, like with colors and composition. We're going to be asking you. To be, and so it's going to be exciting today. And let me bring up the chat. We have a few people. Let's see. Carolyn to be free is in here. Right. Gracie Shack is in here. Grayscale painting. I think a lot of times he just is listening. He's in here.
We like our lurkers.
Oh yeah, we like our lurkers that just listen. That still is good.
Right.
Let me bring up my chat.
Right, the first thing that we've got to decide upon. Are we nearly ready for starting? Or or do you want to give it a few more minutes?
Let's see. We have can you let me wait for me to bring up my chat? I got to bring up the chat.
Well, I've got chat up now. Grayscale
How many people are in?
Says is watching and lurking.
2 people. I have. Wait, let me say that. 2 people watching.
There should be 3.
There should be 3 or 4.
There's.
What are you showing?
Well, there's at least there's Gracie.
If they haven't left,
painting,
I show 3 watching right now.
Carolyn,
yeah. Carolyn 2B3, grayscale painting, and Gracie's in here. Well, let's start with that. Go ahead. So let me put you on the big screen. Let me put you on the big screen.
Whoever's here is helping build the foundation of this.
Right.
Picture,
we're going to take your 3 people's votes. Okay, hold on. Let me put you on the big screen.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Now, I don't know whether you guys can see this, but I've got 2 pictures that we can do today.
2 options.
One is a deer, and the background is it's fading into a fog that comes more as you get closer. It becomes more obvious that it's grass or whatever, and there's a deer there. So that's one option. I don't know if you can see that very well.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, we can see that.
The other one is a band kind of thing with a saxophone player in the foreground and a little guitarist and it's got lights dotted around it every so often.
Would it be like different colored spotlights on him?
Yeah, different colored spotlights. Just to give it atmosphere, and obviously that's going to affect what the saxophone player looks like. I think we would have time
for doing both paintings today.
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, one might be an incredible disaster, so we might have to go to plan B.
I've never seen you make a disaster.
So, right, here's the vote then. Do we want the saxophone player or the deer?
Okay, everybody vote. Saxophone player or the deer?
I vote for the musician.
Gracie, your vote doesn't count.
I'm very good, Gracie.
Okay, we have a vote.
I vote Stag.
Vote for the musician.
Carol votes.
Gracie votes for the stag.
And Carol votes for the saxophone.
The sax player. Gracie votes for the deer.
We might do that.
What is that? Half and half?
Hey?
Oh, my vote. What about my vote? Oh my goodness. My vote, it might be the tiebreaker.
Oh. Yeah, think is at the end of the day.
Okay, I vote for the sax player.
Do you?
Oh, there we go. I put the sax player.
So, we don't run a democracy here, but well, mostly everybody's gone for the saxophone player.
Has it? Did you see? Can you see that? Because it's a little confusing to me. The sax player wins.
It doesn't mean to say that I'm not going to do this.
Right, but you may or may not do that, and this is the one you're going to start with.
This might be what I do next week.
Oh, okay.
If we get through this fairly quickly, we can move on to this. But if we don't, it'll be done next week. So, right. So let me get set up so that we can see the saxophone player.
Okay, that was the vote. The sax player wins.
Right, and I'm going to get my... So, the first thing we want to know, the background light, right? And this is not a vote, it's just you telling me what particular colour you might want in it. And we'll go with the one that seems the most, you know, interesting. So in the background, when you have light like this on a stage, the bottom half there is quite dark, and it gets progressively lighter.
Yeah.
Apart from where your strong lights are, and they like burn out everything. They become very bright. But round this top half here, we want a graduation of colour from dark here to a key colour. What colour should we make that?
One key color?
One key colour. And that will affect the rest of the painting.
Oh, so now we have to vote on a color?
No, just if people want to put a particular...
I put blue.
Blue?
Blue. I'll type in blue.
That's blue. So, Grace, Ian, I can't draw people well. How can I improve drawing people? Gracie, what you need to do is learn head. One head is about 7.5 heads. A full body is about 7.5 heads. And once you learn that proportion, you start learning how to put a body together then. But it's a very complicated thing, drawing bodies. So have we got... So you're saying blue.
I'm going to type it into which color?
Gracie said blue.
For the background.
Grace, it's virtually unanimous. We're going for blue.
Oh, really?
So, but yeah, I think everybody's.
How many votes is that?
Well, we're not really voting on everything. We're just getting a general consensus.
Oh, Grayscale said blue. I said blue. Gracie said blue. Yeah. I don't know if Carolyn's still in here.
So what I want to do is a graduated wash all the way down with a blue. And
hi, Bones Yard. Welcome, Bones Yard. We're participatory meeting. We're in right now. We voted. Ian gave us the chance to vote on which subject matter, and then we voted on what the background color is going to be. We voted on blue. So stick around because it's going to be interesting and exciting because you get to participate in the creation of the painting.
Yeah, I'm carefully working my way around these areas where the hot spot's going to be for the. I'm just
getting
some water in. Don't know exactly how far that's going to go, but
Bones Yard, I know you were having a competition with you and Jerry. Was there somebody that came out the winner?
I'm sorry, I'm having to concentrate. And you know what I'm like when I'm concentrating.
Oh yeah, so I can talk, right? You're going to concentrate?
Yeah.
He's concentrating and I can talk. Okay.
All right. There we go.
Are you and Jerry still competing? No, there's no winner yet. You're still competing with the explosions. They're doing explosions.
Explosions. Nice.
Yeah, they're actually using gunpowder and all that kind of stuff. Like I forget tannerite for explosion. All that.
Be very careful, guys.
I know.
Safety and all that sort of stuff.
And Jerry was not careful. He had 150 pounds of tannerite. People kept saying, "Don't do it, Jerry. Don't do it. Don't do it." He actually did do it, and he got a little bit harmed, but people were saying he could die from it. He got a little bit injured.
You gotta be careful when you.
I know.
When you're doing
He wasn't
explosions.
anybody. Nobody could talk sense into him. It was crazy. But luckily, he only got injured a little bit, and he came out unharmed, and he really should never do that again.
Well, as long as we have a laugh on YouTube on it, it don't matter, does it? I'm only kidding, guys. Health and safety. Always health and safety.
They're not following health and safety. Boneyard just said he got blown up seriously in real life. Oh, Boneyard, did you use too much tannerite? You should be careful.
Oh, you know, when I were about 6 or 7 year old, I made myself a bow and arrow and a knife, and I put I fired it up in air and tried dodging it, you know, just for a laugh. And guess what? I missed, and it hit me. Well, that's the kind of stupid thing you do when you're a kid. That's the kind of stupid thing you do.
Oh, when you were young. Oh, when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Well, some of these people are kids at heart, even though they're grown up.
Oh well.
And
so I'm starting to get like the idea that down here at the bottom, it's dark. It's
I
dark,
read it wrong. Oh, I'm sorry, I read it wrong. Boneyard said Jerry got blown up seriously in real life, so it was not him; it was Jerry. Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
And this here, right? That light is going to be strong, so I'm going to put a silhouette in pretty quickly. The only creative art thing that I've done that were dangerous, I used to work for a company that made epoxy resin things.
Oh,
and
wow.
I went to pick an epoxy resin tray up after it had reacted, and it was that hot it nearly melted my hand to tray.
Melted it almost melted your hand?
Yeah, it nearly melted my hand to tray. You don't think of it as when you're not used to it, you don't think of it as being hot, even though it is.
Oh yeah, you don't think of epoxy as being hot.
You think of things being hot when they come out of things like the oven.
Yeah, you know right. I mean? But
and because it's just had a reaction.
Be hot. That's the thing.
And you think, wow. And I nearly burnt my arm off because I went to pick something up. I went to pick something up with a full grip of my hand, thinking, oh, you know, it's not hot. How can it be hot? Because I was a bit naive at the time of it, and nearly ended up fusing my hand to actual tray that it were in because it was that hot. They can get to thousands of degrees
from a chemical reaction. But you were working. How come your employer didn't warn you of that?
Well, they probably did. It's just me. My brain switches off when I least expect it. I weren't following proper health and safety procedures. That's what it were. Here endeth the day's lesson.
I'm answering your question, Boneyard. I'm typing it in.
So we're getting a nice darkish environment around that, and I'm really trying my best to be careful not to. Well, I think that.
Hi, Glamorous. Nice to see you.
Might be.
We're actually Flower Glamorous. This is a participatory painting where Ian is asking us, like, first he asked us, do we want the deer or the sax player? and the vote was for the saxophone player. And then he asked us, what do we want for the background color? And the majority was for the color of blue. So if you stick around at different key points in his painting, he's asking us what our vote is. Hi, Mystic Unigon. Welcome.
Right. I mean,
I hope you just
thing, we have to be fairly quick. We have to be fairly quick with this because I'm on a bit of a time limit with regards to this drying. So, what colour do we want this light?
You mean like, so there's a blue light and then another color light, you mean?
No, the general background ambience is that blue.
We said blue.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
Right. So
yeah.
What about this light here that's piercing through?
Oh God.
The blue. There's several lights that
yeah,
and I need to be quick or it's going to dry on me. So do we want a red, an orange, a yellow? Think stage lighting. What colours? Yellow.
I don't know if this is fast enough. I might have to just tell you because if it's you have to work fast as a
yeah. Well, they need to
red because you're going to mix that with the blue. You have to think of colors that would mix red and yellow because yellow and blue.
It don't really matter. It's stage
purple, red and yellow.
Well,
red and yellow.
we've got two that want yellow. So right, let's go for it.
Okay.
I ain't got a. You have a very short window of space to actually.
Yellow is one of them, and I think red should be the other one because red would mix well with blue to make purple.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of mud, you don't want mud. You don't want blue and orange.
So at this edge here, it's going to be quite. You're always going to have like a internal bit that's going to be intensely white.
Right. Okay.
That's where it's burnt out, and then that's going to fade out to a lesser degree. Right. So that's like that. Now, what I'm going to do is get all those to blend.
Okay.
So it feels natural.
How's everybody doing today? Grayscale, Gracie, I've spoke with throughout the day today. Grayscale, Flower Glamours, Bones Yard. I think you guys only guys in here. Mystic Unigon, yes. How are you guys doing?
And bringing that intense light there, softening that. Until it's that there where the beam's coming from, we'll have a lot of fairly hard light there, and that's how I'm gonna just try and get it to blend and have an effect in that area.
That's yellow light.
Yeah, that's your yellow light, and obviously it's gonna have. Remember, whatever lights we put in here are going to affect the guy.
Yeah, but that was not pointing down at him.
It doesn't matter. Light has several different things that it does. It can either be reflective, it can be direct light, it can be ambient light. There's several different types of light that can hit a surface.
Okay, so, I see what you mean.
Just because that's going in that direction, it doesn't mean to say it doesn't have an effect overall on the object that we're doing. So I'm going to keep going like that. And so you've got a kind of, don't want to overdo it because like you say, if you work something like this too much, it can become muddy.
That's
so right. What about this one here?
I thought we already voted. red, and
Well, okay, we'll do that one red. There's several lights. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 lights.
4 of them. Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
I think this one, I'm going to make an executive decision and leave this one white.
Okay.
So that one and that one. So what colours are we going for? Red and...
Okay, yellow was the first one, red, and
Yeah.
I was saying, no, I was saying yellow, red, and we already had blue, so I thought it was just those 3 ones.
The blue is the ambience. It's going from dark where there's no light into a blue, because light is having a slight effect on the darkness.
Oh,
So all
did
the
we
blue,
get
it's not
yellow
actually a light.
yet?
It's not a light as such.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It's more
The background.
it's the background, but you can see it more because certain lights are making the darkness glow a bit. You
So
know, when you go to a concert, you can.
We need one more color.
Yeah.
Oh, one person said green. Would they say green?
A green a bit. Yeah, just think concert lights. I think I'm going to go for a green anyway.
Yeah, go ahead.
See, that's coming almost directly at us, that one.
Yeah, right.
So you're getting a strong centre point, and then it's fuzzing out. But because it's in distance, it's not having that much of a sideways, like a spotlight effect on us. So this one here, or that one, should I make that green or that one?
Okay, just hold on. Let me see. Which one?
This one here, should I make green, or that one that's spotlighting the guitar player there?
So whatever one is the above one, that's going to be the one that shines mostly on the guitar. I mean, the sax player.
All of these lights are directly behind the saxophone player. They're all behind. The only light that you would probably get is one that you wouldn't see because it's in front of you as a viewer.
What does everybody think? A green below or green above? I think green above.
That one there, a green, or this one here. So I'll have to make that one white or something like white. So I'm going to go for that being green.
Okay.
A really luminescent green. I don't know. Let's have a look. See if we can make a weird, strong green. And it's that same process. You've got like a.
Hi, Bella Marie TV. I don't think I've seen you in my live stream before. Welcome. Bella Marie TV, welcome. We're having a participatory painting. So at certain key points throughout this watercolor painting, Ian is asking our vote for color and composition. Well, mainly for color now. First, we had to vote. We're gonna should he paint the deer or the saxophone player, and the vote was for the saxophone player. And then now he's asking us still to vote on different color choices, which we already voted for. So stick around because he's gonna keep.
There's plenty more to come, I can assure you.
Plenty of what?
Plenty more to come.
Oh, plenty more to come. For you.
So we've got that light there now, which I like. I like that green. It's nice. And it's flooded out a little bit. And I do want it to do a little bit of that, flooding out. Because that's what they are, the floodlights. Well, the spotlights, but they're still the same kind of thing.
Oh, hi, Catherine. Christina Art. Oh, hi, Purple Paisley.
Hello.
We have more people. Oh, yeah.
what I'm doing now is just feathering it out so it looks naturally like it's, you know, blending into the dark background. Because that's the key for it. You need to get things quite soft.
Oh, right. So everybody, a whole bunch of new people just came in. This is a participatory painting where during different key points throughout this watercolor painting, Ian is asking our vote on, first it was on which subject matter to do, the deer or the saxophone player, and the vote was for the saxophone player. And then asked us for what color for the background and different colors for the spotlight. So, so stick around because he's gonna. It's fun and he's asking us to participate in the creation of his painting.
Oh, it helps us to find out whether what make people stay on a channel and
I know.
you know,
I have no idea because I be on people's channel. I've been on people's channels where I'm like, why are there so many people here? I don't get it. I don't get it. Somehow they're engaged. It has to be because of some form of engagement, and how that engagement is created. I don't know. Just I think it happens different ways.
I've got to say that one of engagement tools that is used a lot, although it's a very blunt tool, is giveaways, and I'm not overly keen on that.
We did a giveaway. We did a giveaway with a grayscale painting. That didn't bring out any. I mean, that brought out a bunch of people near the end because I was like, I didn't tell them what time it was going to end, but I said at the end, and then all of a sudden, a whole bunch of people came out of the woodwork to put in their number, because it was picked by a random.
Exactly. Yeah.
A bunch of people came out of the woodwork at the end.
I'm a moderator for several different groups, and whenever they put a giveaway in, it's like half a universe turns up.
I don't know. I've done giveaways not for live. Well, no. I've done giveaways on some of my live streams. That adds like a few more people, not like an astronomical amount of extra people. It's just like a few more.
It depends on what your base number of people are in the first place, doesn't it?
Right.
I mean, if you've only got 2 people who ever watch it, you're not going to go much above. I mean, this morning, well, it was my own fault because I didn't know how long my painting was going to be. I put a painting up this morning, and it took 6 hours to process. So by the time it were done, everybody in USA were in bed. So nobody in UK saw it, and neither did anybody in USA, which is my normal big audience.
No, cameras. I didn't see that video, and thank you. I'm going to look at it later.
It's my video for what do they call it? For orange thing. Right, so that's all as lights done. I hope it's created like the idea that in the background there's bits of light lighting up and that all that is the atmosphere. So taking into account these are the colours that we've got, that we've been using, we need to start doing our saxophone player. Do we do it highly detailed? Do we do it very rapid and, you know, loose? That's your choice.
Okay.
Should it be graphic? Should it be a tight painting? Should it be a loose painting? That's the next question.
So, do you want a detailed painting of the saxophone player or a more loose? Okay, I vote for detailed. I'm putting detailed in.
Well, I know you would.
Why? Why do you say that?
Because you're a detailed person.
No, I'm not. Look at my paintings.
I know, but you like. I'm not saying your art's detailed, but you do like detail in your art.
You just said it is not in your art. Now you like detail in your art.
No, just because
you don't like I know you don't like detail. You like detail in your art, but you don't like detail in your art. Why?
No, you don't necessarily do highly detailed stuff, but I've noticed that you have a leaning towards it when you talk about it. So it's not right. So what?
All right.
Are we looking at tight? Grayscale says tight. Sorry,
Purple Paisley, she just came back from a phone call. It's time to vote at a key point right now. He's asking us to vote at different key points in his painting. It's participatory. So, Purple Paisley Planner, did you want the saxophone player to be loosely painted or detail painted? Painted with tight details?
I mean, what would normally dictate this is not to a great extent, but how you've done that in the background. If that's loose, then insane. No, you could do that very detailed, and that's still what it's got to do. It's got to keep the important thing is
detail. I think detail's winning. I gotta count the votes. Hold on. I voted detail.
Detailed. I think vast majority want detailed, don't they?
Let me count. I'll count. I voted detail. Purple Paisley voted detail. Purple Paisley Planner voted detail. Grayscale Painting voted detail, and Gracie voted loose. Is there anybody else for loose?
I think vast majority want that. So detail.
The majority is detail.
So what I'll have to do is I mean, because that is very loose, the background, but that's fine because that's background.
Yeah, right.
So you can anything in the foreground, you can get away with it. So I don't think that because you've done a loose background that you've got to do a loose.
And one foreground. More Flower Glamorous. One more vote for detail.
Right. So we're going to go for detail. Right. Is relative as well. I'm not going to be here for another 100 hours doing a high definition painting. It just won't look right anyway. But detail really to keep it tied in should be in keeping with the fact that we've got a semi-loose background. So
a detailed foreground would make sense.
Yeah, a detail. Yeah, but we're not talking about doing it that detailed that you're going to be.
Okay,
like
detail for you.
A lot of artists they spend hours and hours just going.
Okay, detail for you. Okay.
It's relative. Detail.
Okay.
Now, I mean, literally, if I wanted to do it loose, I could do that in a silhouette. All of that in a silhouette, and just add key colors here and there. Go.
All right. So what will detail mean? What's that going to mean?
I'll just I'll show you.
It's going to be. He's not going to be totally in silhouette. We're going to see some details.
Right. I'll show you what that would be if it were like a loose painting, right?
That's a loose painting.
No, I'll show you what it would be like if it were loose.
Kind of loose. But it's all relative.
It'd be there like that, and then you'd have body.
Ooh, what are you painting?
You've got your. I'm painting a very loose.
On the deer painting.
It don't matter. It's just a practice.
Okay.
And then what you do is you see how loose that is, done in
Yeah.
just a few strokes,
Right.
and then you'd add interest by doing something like that to saxophone, and put in areas of emphasis.
That's loose, and then you're gonna just add more detail.
So that, I mean, and you build on that, but all
Right.
it is very abstract,
Right. You start out loose,
expression.
and then you build the details.
Whereas detailed, from my viewpoint, is something like, I'm going to do this in a very graphic illustration way. Now, some people might say, "Oh, well, that's not detailed," but so what we've got to take into account now is we've got a yellow light, a red light, and whatever light might be coming from this side here and hitting the musician, and you might have teeny bits of green. So you've got to, whatever you do, you've got to introduce bits of that to it to make it realistic.
Bits of what to it?
You've got to add various bits of these colours to that to key it all in, or it'll just look as though it's something completely separate from the rest of the ambience around it. Now, there might be a very strong light hitting that person coming from that direction that cancels a lot of that out, but let's just the first thing I'm going to do is get a nice pinky colour. Now it's going to be a lot redder than what it would be under normal circumstances, because he's on stage and lights are very harsh. So he's facing downwards, and what do we say about the bottom? The lower something is,
it's darker,
the darker it is. So this side, the downside of the face is going to be darker than the upside. That's where all the light's coming from, up above. Lights come from above. So anything that's in shade will be lower. So the first thing to do is get a light pink red in on face. Everywhere on face. Right? And while we're doing that,
all the colors on the face, you said?
All on the face are a light pink.
Oh, okay.
And then we're going to build on that. In fact, I've messed it up already, because this side here is obviously, it's got a strong light hitting it from somewhere. Right. And wherever you get something light, you need to contrast that with a dark. So what I'm going to do, that light there, I'm going to make his jacket dark there. Can you actually see this?
Yeah. See, yeah, I can see everything.
And that bit there, it's dark, but it's farther away than this bit of the jacket.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So I'm going to make that different colour slightly and give it more interest and emphasis with things. That's it. I've left a little line there because that's his, I don't know what they call them, the strap for the saxophone.
Oh, yeah.
That holds it on. I don't know, he may have a white shirt on. I don't know. Let's have a look. No, I do believe he's got a very dark shirt on, actually. Let's have a look. So when we get to that there, not only is it in shade, that area,
She always says I didn't. A lot of times she says you didn't say hello to me. Chrissy Canvas Art, I see you. Hello.
Hello. I have to be eagle-eyed on these chat rooms.
I know. Unless she doesn't have her sound on. If she doesn't have her sound on, I better write it in too.
So just for interest and the idea of texture, we're going to put little bits of that in there like that. Because you're not going to have ultra strong colour on stage unless a really strong light's hitting a person, which in this case it isn't. So, although I do feel that from this side there is something hitting.
There's what?
That's why I'm putting these ruffles. That's why I'm putting these ruffles in the shirt that he's wearing.
Oh, okay.
It's getting somewhere. And all this is a combination of blues and reds blending into one another.
Oh, Gracie says amazing painting, Ian.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, like the way they're starting to do that. Yeah, the way that the body of the saxophone player is turning out is looking good.
And hopefully, well, let's see if we can start to key it in now. So it what it would do is invisibly key in, if you know what I mean.
What do you mean key in?
That's, see what I've just done there? The darkness of the shirt slowly but surely fades into the blackness. So there's no absolute cut off end. Whereas here, where there's a strong light hitting it, see that there? You got
no, on the sleeve. There's it's all white on the back of the sleeve.
Yeah. On that sleeve, there's a light possibly coming down and hitting it there.
Yeah.
But down here at the bottom, there's less of a light. So the colour, right, would fade into the background. And that's what I've done there. And that's what you call keying in the colours.
Oh, never heard that term. Keying in the colors means that it gets like dissolved into the background.
Yeah, right. We've painted this in two separate parts, haven't we? We've painted the background, and then we've painted the main motif or the thing that's the main thing, right? The saxophone player. The problem is with some people is they paint them and they look two completely separate objects in two completely separate universes. So what you have to do is make sure that you've got things that connect them.
Yeah.
And that's what keying in does. It keys that area of darkness there into that area there, and you blend them.
Oh, Chrissy, you're the newest one that came in the room, and this is a participatory painting where Ian is asking us at key points during the painting. Already we voted on whether he would paint the deer or a saxophone player. And then at key points during the painting, he's asking us about color and maybe a little bit about composition. I think that's already taken care of. I don't know, but color.
Well, there's not a lot you can do with composition of this. It is what it is, isn't it, really? We're pushing the boundaries of creativity by just having it, you know, what we're doing with it. So I'm going to go with a traditional kind of colour for saxophone, but saxophones don't have to be, you know, normal brassy, bronzy kind of colours. But what I'm doing here is just.
Oh, Gracie wants to know what kind of paper you're using.
I'm using Eine Mule £200
Oh,
paper.
pounds.
Yeah. I do
That's
like
very
using
heavy.
I do like using £200 when I can, because you can give it an awful lot of abuse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And it won't buckle.
it won't. No. Right. Well, he's got an hand, and I forgot to. It's always good to actually, when you're doing all the flesh areas, to make sure that you do with your hands, because believe it or not, they're flesh coloured, apparently. So he's got some fingers showing there. You'd have to show all the fingers.
That's more pinkish colored.
Yeah, it will be. I mean, look at that. That's gone very light pink. We're gonna move it on a little bit by putting another set of colours on it now it's dry. So it's not just one.
Oh, here's what Grayscale says. He said the way Ian has the saxophone. I have to zoom this up. Position. It leads you right into the other. It leads you right into the.
Yeah, I'm not.
The
It
other
makes you look at that as well.
There's no. Is there two musicians in there?
Yeah, there is there.
Oh my
That's why
God.
that spotlight. Can you not see? Oh, sorry. Yes, there is.
There's two musicians.
There's a guy playing either a bass guitar or a guitar there.
White to the left.
That's why that spotlight's coming down there, and it's getting
There's
cut off.
a guitar. I can't see the guitar, but I see some whitish. The white looks like a head and shoulders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right. It does. It kind of gives you that.
The composition lead.
That angle brings you over to there.
The guitar.
So what I'm doing now, I'm doing a second amount of face pink on his face. I'm just going to leave that like that for the time being now, and let that dry. But one thing it has got that I've not catered for, because I'm making poor guy bald. And we've got a typical. Here you go. He's got a mop head now, like all good musicians have. So it's going to be very graphic, this. I'll try and be as detailed as I possibly can, but so that's the mouthpiece or whatever you call it on a saxophone. I'm not right sure. And it's just looking for areas now that I've got a part of the painting that we can key in dark wise. You know what I'm on about when I was talking about keying in earlier?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this inside of the saxophone there, it's like reflecting the darkness around it. So what I'm going to do is do that. And it kind of like makes it
Oh, I need to be putting your channel in.
Well,
I
don't worry
that.
about it. Enjoy the
Okay.
moment. People, I think everybody who's here knows my channel anyway.
Oh, okay. In the future, I have to put it on in my Word document, and that way it's very easy to copy and paste.
Yeah.
Oh, you can look at Ian Jackson. There is another Ian Jackson, but you know that Ian Jackson has Rainbow Graphics as his logo.
Rainbow Color Graphics, or iJax71 is the best way to find me. I am trying to make sure that I keep tiny little bits of white as well, because I'm doing it slightly graphically.
Gracie wants to know: is it a watercolor block or a pad?
Oh yeah, we were talking about that. Sorry, Gracie. I'll show you now where it is.
It's a block, right?
It's a block, yeah. It's Heine Mule, if that's how you pronounce it. Watercolor block. It's what is it? 425 grams for the USA people. That's £200.
Oh wow!
And it's cold press, and it's not paper.
It's not what?
It's not paper.
It's not paper?
Not paper. Not, it isn't not. Not paper means it's middle paper. It's not smooth, and it's not rough. It's the middle paper.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, hi, Sleeve Stack Rule.
So we're starting to get here.
Hello, Ian. Friday is Ian Day. Yes, that's right. And today's a participatory painting where first he asked us which one we voted on. Do we want him to paint the deer or the musician? And everybody voted on. Most people voted the musician. Then he voted on the background, whether the background color we wanted, and everybody said blue. Most people said blue. Then do we want him to paint the musician detailed or loose? And most people voted for detailed. And then he asked us like what colors in the spotlights we wanted. So it's stick around. It's fun. You're gonna ask us again another option.
Do you know what? I don't think I'm that far away from finishing this.
Oh, he's not that far away. Because he's painting detailed.
And that means we can.
We that guitar player.
Hey, you what?
You got to paint that guitar player.
No, it's just a silhouette in the background. It's a secondary point of interest.
And he's white. He's white like that.
No.
Oh, because he's in the spotlight.
The spotlight is creating a silhouette of him.
Look at that. Now I see it. I'm looking above at this white thing. Look at that. Oh, that white thing. That's a spotlight. That's a spotlight with white coming.
That's another spotlight.
Now, where you're pointing.
One spotlight, two spotlights, three,
a guitar player. I see what you're talking about. Okay.
As far as I can tell, there's also a spotlight hitting this guy here from this side, but you don't see that because it's off shot, as it were.
Now I know what you're talking about.
Right. Which actually gives me what I need to do with regards to all
that. Please Stack Rules. Okay, he says he's okay wrapping up work. Okay, Please Stack, thank you for joining us.
All right. So the last bit on the face is the very dark bit of the face, and that there's only a teeny little bit of that actually is that, and that's that.
I don't know what Grayscale painting saying. He says it's fun, educational, and a complete part of a full breakfast.
It is. You're right. Porridge oats, brought to you by Porridge Oats. No, it isn't. There you go. Who has the porridge oats on the morning? I do, because we've got coming round to winter time. I've swapped over to winter breakfast time now. That's what I call it. And
Porridge? You're eating porridge?
Porridge oats is my weapon of
Oh,
choice.
it's oatmeal, right?
Well, that's what you guys call it. We call it
We
porridge.
call it oatmeal. Yeah, you call it porridge.
I don't know why you call it oatmeal, but
okay. In the fairy tale with the 3 bears, they call it porridge, right?
I do. It's called porridge. Oh, it is made of oats. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Do you know what? I'm sensing that there ain't anything else I can add to this painting now. That's it. It's done.
Oh.
So that, I mean, how long have we gone? Oh, that's good timing, isn't it?
Oh my God, that's an hour. You just took almost an hour.
That means we can do this.
The deer.
Yeah. Totally different set of. So we've got an hour to do this deer.
Unless you want to do a monster, because he says, Sleestack Rule says more monster, Mr. Grayscale, but he's talking to Grayscale because Grayscale has done one or a couple monsters, so maybe not maybe that doesn't pertain to you.
A quotient for me. I don't know what that means. So Chrissy likes a porridge. You have to have where Chrissy is. You have to have your porridge on the morning anyway, because
yeah, she says she likes porridge.
It's. I tell you what, it's cold. It's not warm.
What's cold? The weather.
In North of England, we're having. What's it like? What's it like today, Chrissy? It's been absolutely banging it down all day here.
You're in Northern England?
We are.
So that's cold. Do you get a lot of snow?
When it wants to, yeah. But we don't get tons of snow, but I can assure you.
Are you saying like in the winter you still get tons of rain?
It depends. Over the last few years, we tend to get a lot more rain than we do snow.
Oh my goodness!
Because it don't get cold enough nowadays because of global warming.
Oh, okay.
Or whatever it is, I don't know. It might be global warming.
Right.
But I mean, at one time of day, we used to have several foot of snow. So, but anyway, I digress. So, have we decided? Are we definitely going to go ahead and do this other one then?
Yeah, there's no vote on that. That's what's left, right?
Right. I don't think by adding anything else, I'm going to be able to improve it any. That's why. That's one of my stop points. When I get to a certain point where I think, what will it do if I add that?
I thought
the answer is no.
I thought that you would like paint the red light down so it would be touching his head.
Well, you could do. In fact, yeah. Well, fair enough, because this is a special, and you're commanding me what to do.
That much. Okay, I see that one yellow, but the red.
We can do that.
Touching his head.
We can definitely do that.
Okay.
My only worry is that it might actually pull off some of the colour. See, because you can't do it like acrylics.
Okay, and the green one is so subtle I can't even barely see the green light.
Yeah, you probably can't, but I can. It's very strong. Right. It's very, very strong.
Strong. Okay.
Yeah. That's just down to video itself.
All right.
I'm gonna wet.
Yeah, I like that what you're doing already with the red. Make it more dramatic.
Yeah, you're right actually, because now I'm looking at the actual original image. It is stronger.
A reference image?
I've got a reference image for the saxophone player.
Yeah, you do? Okay.
Yeah. Don't want to bite it off too more than I can chew here.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see.
And it's just about blending the rest of this in.
Okay.
Just got to be careful not to, because this is the point where things start getting muddy if you're not careful.
And then you don't have to put a little bit of red highlight on the back of him?
Possibly. Now I've strengthened that. See, where I put it originally, it were a background light, and it didn't have that much emphasis.
Oh, yeah, but it's better dramatic like that.
Well, I mean, you could play around with lighting on this for hours, getting it absolutely spot on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there might be odd. I don't want to put overly strong.
Right.
Might be odd. The place where it probably would be more affected is on the saxophone, because it's a very highly reflective metal surface.
A little bit on a sleeve, I see. That's good.
But I mean, on the photo itself, I don't see an awful lot of that, because the shirt itself is fairly dark.
Okay.
And the only things that are showing on it, the intensely, there must be a light hitting it from that direction, a strong light hitting this. Somebody must be placing a spotlight on the saxophonist, and all that edge there is very, very burnt out white, and it's kind of neutralizing this area, this light here.
Now, Chrissy says, my husband has Raynaud's. What's that? Raynauds.
Reynolds.
What is that?
Oh, it's a disorder, isn't it?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And Gracie says, are you using White Knight's watercolor?
No, not today. These are Jackson's, what I'm using.
Jackson's, but not related to you.
Not related to me. And because we've done that, I feel obliged now to get some blue and a little bit of purple and do this side. Let's just make sure.
Oh, yes, Raynaud's, it has to do with bad circulation.
Is it? Yeah, it is. My toes go like blocks of ice.
What, doesn't exercise help?
What?
You don't walk, you don't do walking or some kind of
Oh no.
You don't do walking like for an exercise? I know you wouldn't do running, but are you walking?
Occasionally. I like a little bit of hiking.
Because that helps your circulation.
Well,
but I mean, you have a disorder that maybe that maybe that's different, but
I've got to say, I can't think of any exercise that's ever helped me, to be frank.
oh,
I'm not an ill person. It's just my toes sometimes get a little bit cold,
well,
but that's probably down to poor circulation.
oh, I
But
find
I
that
mean,
if you exercise, if you walk, like we go walk in the park with the rails to trails where it used to be railroad, so it's all flat. When they turned it in, they turned it an abandoned or whatever they abandoned railroad, they turned it into a walking park, so it's like completely flat, and it takes half an hour. It takes a whole hour to do the whole thing, and we do that if the weather's nice enough. If not, we go to the gym, and my husband either lifts weights or he does walks on the treadmill. And every day I don't lift weights. I always walk on the we don't go every day, but we should go Monday through Friday. But this past week we had actually a problem with our house, so he had to take care of that, and then he had to take care of the vehicle, and then he has to get firewood tomorrow. That's going to require a lot of muscle work, so he didn't want to get sore today from the gym. But I usually just do walking. I used to jog, but I used to jog outside on the pavement, but pavement's not good. Eventually, if you keep jogging on hard pavement, that's not good for your joints. So before I have any joint problems, which I have no joint problems right now, I stop that, and I just do. I walk on the treadmill, and because the treadmill is resilient, you could jog on it. I could do a jog walk, but usually I just do a walk because I like to entertain myself by watching some YouTube videos. In the past week, it's the first week we haven't gone.
If I want to do any exercise, I'll let somebody do it for me on YouTube.
Crazy.
Plenty of people doing it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, you're right. Problem is if you put too much strong emphasis in colours in the background, it's going to overcompete with the main thing.
Right.
So
maybe that's just enough, right? What you did, just enough right there.
Yeah, I think that isn't. I don't think I'd push it any farther than it's made it a bit more atmospheric, but I wouldn't do much more. I'm just going to put a little bit more emphasis and connectivity to that dark bit of the face there, and then a little bit going that way. There you go. Right, and that is the image. It's one of them things that I might go back another day and have a quick sneaky tweak with. So let's crack on with hello.
Yeah, I was reading because I was wondering, like somebody said, oh, Grayscale Painting said, of all professions, he's a mechanic. And I'm like, are they talking about him? I was starting to go up in the chat and see who's he talking about. Maybe, I guess he's talking about you.
Me?
I see that he referred to another artist. He's calling you a mechanic.
No, I'm not a mechanic.
I don't know.
I'm bald like that guy out of The Mechanic.
All right, take care, Gracie. Sleep well.
Bye-bye, Gracie. Right, I've got to find the other photo now. There we go. Nah. Right then, so we're going to have a go at this one then, if we've got time.
We're going to, and maybe people still want to participate. Who's in here? Jason. Chrissy Cameron says.
Jason Stephen, that's it, The Mechanic.
Is that a musician?
Yeah, the one thing I've got in common, Chrissy, with Jason Stephen, or whatever his name is, I'm as bald as he is.
So he's a rock musician?
Jason Statham.
Yeah, who's he with? What band?
He's not.
Oh, okay. Well, I never heard of him, so.
He's in a lot of action movies.
Oh, he's an actor.
The Mechanic.
I don't know. I don't keep up with that, so don't mind me.
Listen, I'm no aficionado.
I totally
on
don't
this
keep
one.
up on movies.
I'm no aficionado on movies myself, so I get excited when a Star Wars film comes out. That's how. I mean,
says he's an action movie star. Okay. Last time I was following action movie stars was Harrison Ford.
Oh wow!
I love Harrison Ford.
You need to get to movies.
No, I don't want to go to movies.
Is The Blob an action movie?
Blob? No, that's more like
a reaction.
What's that the Blob? That's more like a cult movie now. That's in the category of cult.
Cult?
Yes, CULT. That's a cult movie now. Oh, okay. Don't mind me, but that's I might be wrong.
No, you're right. It has got its own cult
following. Very vintage. The Blob is very vintage.
There you go. See, Chrissy.
What, she was talking about The Blob?
No, it's not one of Chrissy's favourite films. So, right, get rid of that rubbish there.
And Grayscale agrees. He says horror cult movie. Yes. Oh yeah. I remember that was very scary. I remember watching it a long time ago, and I really was scared by that.
The original were a 1950s sci-fi B movie.
Okay, then they might have made some remakes on it, like in the 70s and whatever.
In the 1970s, they made a remake.
Yeah, and it was scary for me back then. It was scary.
Well, I was scared by Daleks in 1970s. So
by what?
Daleks.
Can
you not know what a Daleks are?
Can you spell that?
Hey, no. Can anybody spell Dalek?
I've never heard of that. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know. My goodness.
Doctor Who. His main enemy, Doctor Who. And basically, they're a great big bin with like an antennae that goes exterminate. That's my impression of a Dalek.
Oh, Mr. Sleep Stack Rule came back, or they're okay.
Right. What I want to put to the vote this time round is I did this as a test run, and rather than it be a silhouette, which it would be in reality, do you want me to paint it like that? Freaky colours. Freaky?
To me, that's not freaky.
Well, they're not natural, are they?
I don't know. To me, that looks right.
It looks right because tonally, it's the right.
Because tonally, it's correct.
The tones are correct. If I didn't get the tones right, it won't look right.
Oh, okay.
So you can use whatever colours you want to produce something like this, as long as you get the tones right.
Maybe that just looks like some light was on the and makes that more reddish there and more brown there because of the lighting. It just looks right.
Mm-hmm. So I can either do it like that, or I can do it a basic silhouette.
No, I like it like that. So how would I vote for that? I like it like. Okay,
right, but
or you like it like that. I like it like that. I'm gonna put this. I like it like that. I like the deer like that. I like
colourful or graceful.
I like the deer. Oops. Gosh. I like the deer like that. Or
Yeah.
you can vote for silhouette. Either say, I like the deer like that, or you
Or
vote for
coloured.
silhouette.
Silhouette or coloured. I like the
I
deer.
think Christy's voting. I think she voted freaky. She's saying freaky.
Freaky. She likes freaky.
To me, that's not freaky. But whatever. I think she voted for the deer like that.
Right. Right. There is a consequence with that.
And Grayscale said, I like the deer like that too.
The backdrop will have to have a similar level of freakiness rather than natural, because
or be more subtle.
Yeah, it rather than, well, put it this way, the original image that I'm looking at is all grey at the top, and it blends down into a mild coloured bit of grass there, and the deer is a silhouette against this like blend that goes up and up and up and up into a grey. When we put in weird colours in like that, I will have to like use colour.
That's not weird to me.
Well, I'm just using that expression because I can't think of a more exact word for
Everybody's saying like it like that. Nobody's saying silhouette.
Right. So what I'll have to do is use. I don't know. I may make this up here. There's a bit up there that's a tree, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to make that light green and dark green.
Right.
This here is going to be like a dark and a light and a dark green, but between it, what I'm going to do, I need a colour that's going to complement these two top and bottom areas, which are green.
What besides green? What? Okay, wait a minute. What?
Yeah, that will fade.
Oh,
it's going to fade from green into the colour.
What about grey? What about just grey?
Yeah, because that won't. I don't know whether that will work. We'll have a go. That's it.
Brown,
you have said.
Gray, brown, gray. What? Like
we'll have a look.
Green, like grayish greens.
The whole idea of this particular experimental thing that we're doing today is you tell me what to do.
Yeah, because already these are very warm colors in the deer, so you want like green would go to push to the background. Gray, neutral, greens, they would stay in the background while the colors of the deer is the main subject.
Mm-hmm. Right, so I'm.
Oh wait, so how should we put the vote? Like
well, we're already going for what we're going for, aren't we?
I thought you wanted to vote for the background.
No, well, that actually comes with the territory. That's what I said. If you go for that being funny coloured, you need to like have something that's going to be complementary to it.
Complementary would be
something that's not gonna
compete with it. Yeah, green's gonna go to the background. It's gonna go to the background.
Well, it might do. I don't know.
Because green's a cool color. It's a cool color, and it's natural grayish green.
It's not about the colour itself. It's the fading out that I'm bothered about. I want atmospheric perspective in it, right? So here I want it to be strong colour, and then there less stronger, there even less stronger, and there almost non-existent in colour.
I don't know. So you want to use autumn colors? Because already those reddish and orange are already used in the deer.
A deer with its antlers, right? They only get antlers at the end of summer into autumn. So it's got to be autumn.
So you're going to put autumn colors?
So, well, you're not going to put spring colours in like pinks,
no.
because that would look.
Christy says just bloody painted. LOL.
What? Bloody painted. I know. It was past my bedtime.
Yeah, this is participatory. Chrissy, this is participatory. So put in your 2 cents.
One day only. I can
What colors do you think for the background?
Right. Okay. Then.
This whole thing today has been participatory, where people are voting for colors and composition and subject matter. What colors do you think, Chrissy, for the background? Well, she's still laughing.
So I've got my first neutral down. Just a matter of at certain points.
Wow, you even painted over the deer.
Don't
I thought you were
matter.
going to paint around the deer.
Well, in a second I'll show you what I'm going to do. If I work really, really fast.
Chrissy says she thinks ochre, yellow ochre, and mid brown. No, what did she say? Mid brown? Let me say this. Yes, mid brown.
Right, I might have to leave this to dry for a bit now.
You don't have a heat drawing tool?
I have, yeah.
Guess what? It's not. Guess what? StreamYard. If you use a heat drawing tool, we hear it for the first few seconds, and then after that, StreamYard
makes it. What I'm doing while it's wet?
It quiets it down.
Can you see what I'm doing while it's wet?
What's that? What are you doing? What's that? White?
Nope.
You're taking away color.
Taking it away, yeah. While it's still wet, you can do that.
Yeah. So that means it's drying it out?
Well, it's going to make it wet, but it's just limiting. It's limiting where the white will go.
Okay, I see. It's taking away the color.
Yeah. Right. I'm going to. I wouldn't normally do this, but I don't like using heat guns with watercolor because it can have adverse effects.
It does funny things to it.
Well, it stops it from doing its natural flowing thing that it would normally do. It literally stops. It stops it at that point. Wherever it dries, it stops it. It's like in photography. Oh, this is going to be.
Christopher, this is a participatory painting session where all the way through from the beginning, since he painted the musician, he's asked us to vote on different steps along the way. Along the way, like which one did we want him to paint first, and we wanted him to paint the musician because we never knew if he was going to even have time to get to the deer. And then, like, what color for the background? Do we want the musician detailed or loose? What color for the spotlights? And so he's asking us. So this is very participatory today. It's fun, and already we had to vote on how to paint the deer. He showed us a picture of how he had painted it with what kind of like brighter colors rather than just a silhouette. We wanted people to go to the brighter colors. So stick around because it's fun, and he's gonna keep asking us for our vote.
In this natural environment that I'm painting here, it would where there's a fog going off into the distance, this deer would be a silhouette, because that light in fog, it kind of creates an average, a glare of light everywhere. So it makes your foreground become like a silhouette. So that's what happens. It's a natural thing that happens. So anyway, I'm going to put my pink lightsaber on. Do you remember?
Hi, Purple Paisley Planner. Thank you for still being here. Thank you.
Here we go. Here we go. For those of you who have a nervous, for those of you who have a nervous disposition, I'm switching my heat gun on.
Oh no!
Can you hear me?
There we go. StreamYard, do you see that? StreamYard start silencing that out.
Only problem
we don't hear
is
it so loud. You can see how StreamYard, so now we don't even hear it so loud. I've
Only
noticed
problem
that.
is I can't hear y'all because it sounded.
Oh, but everybody notice how like StreamYard has make that quieter and we don't hear it so loud. For like the first 10 seconds we hear it really loud, and then after that we don't hear it so loud. Hi, John Quinn. John Quinn, welcome. And today is a participatory painting session with Ian, and he's asking us at key points along the way of his watercolor painting, what colors we want, what colors we wanted to use, what parts of the, different things about the subject and the composition. So already, he finished the position painting. Now he's gone on to the stag paint. That's a stag, right?
It is, I believe that's
call
a
it
technical term for it, yeah. A stag.
Stag deer painting.
Right. Only thing I've got to do now, just to give me an idea of where I'm going with painting, is to put these branches in that are up here. Because the actual deer is looking up at a tree. So I'm going to get me light colours in first. And honestly, best way to slightly dry brush, best way to get branches and trees in is very abstract by going.
Is to start out very abstract.
Right. There you go. And then put some dark in it, because it is in shade, this. And define it a little bit more.
Oh yeah, I know, Christopher. Christopher's been like it's been like 4 to 6 weeks that I've painted live. I know, Christopher. Maybe I'll try tomorrow. I'm gonna try tomorrow around 11:30. If I really should, I know. So then everybody, because I actually sold out of some of my my mini ceramic bowls. I almost sold out, and I got to paint some more. There's interest in my mini ceramic hand painted bowls, and I should paint some more. I would do that tomorrow.
Very good. That's nice. So just to counterbalance that dark area there, this foreground, I'm just gonna. There you go. Nip that edge a little bit. I might even put a little bit of green in that area here.
Oh, my voice is too loud. He goes, Chrissy, Grayscale Painting said, Chrissy, it didn't. Oh yeah, goodness. Okay, so StreamYard made the volume of your heat dryer like lower after 10 seconds. it quiets it down. But then Grayscale Painting is joking, saying, "But it didn't block Diana out. I can hear her from my phone outside."
It looks for the human. The human voice has a particular frequency.
Right. It's not.
It's completely different.
It's not going to make quieter somebody's voice.
No, that's why they can. That's why they can separate it, because the human voice is a separate.
It's really
frequency.
nice how it makes quiet after 10 seconds. It makes quieter that.
Here we go. Sorry.
It's loud. It's loud. Quick 10, maybe 15 seconds, and now it got quieter. Look at that. It got quieter. But sorry, everybody, it's not going to make my voice quieter unless I need to talk quieter. I know I need to talk quieter.
Right. So what we're going to attempt to do, and this is not easy, so don't try this at home, even though you're going to try it probably, is that. Which is multicolored deer, rather than a deer that's just a silhouette.
I love that.
Well, we can have a go. It could be an enchanted forest where there's a spirit of the deer. I don't know. I've watched way too much Princess Manuki or whatever they call it.
But is that what your wife likes to watch?
Hey? No, it's a very well known.
I didn't know if that was girly, that something is like your wife likes to watch and you were watching it.
It's a Studio Ghibli cartoon. Well worth watching. If you've never watched it, go and watch it. It's called Princess Manuka. I can't remember how you pronounce it. But it's one of the great pieces of animation. Fantastic. I'm just going to, due to the fact that look at colouring me water, and I've used 3 bowls of water up now, so I'm just going to. I'm just gonna change my water, and I'll be back in a second or two. Okay.
Oh, my last comment was for Grayscale Painting. I forgot to put his name in there. Oh yes, I did. Oh gosh, I see it now. I didn't put it at the end. I put it in the middle. I see. I did put it to him. Oh. Yes, Chrissy Canvas Art likes magical. She says it's cool, Ian. She likes magical. To me, that could be magical, but it almost could be real too. But I like the way that he painted the deer with the different colors, and to me that looks pretty real. But I mean, I would prefer that to just total silhouette, because he was giving us the choice of that, like paint the deer with the colors that he had originally painted with the reds and the browns, or just paint straight silhouette. And at most everybody, well, no, we didn't vote on that, but I don't know if we voted on that. I think we did vote on that. Goodness. That's right. I think we did vote on that, right? That we want him to paint the deer the way he had showed us, the way he had previously just showed us. Ooh, my memory sometimes die.
Right. Right. So
we did vote on that. Oh my goodness.
I'll tell you what I will do before we go any farther. Oh, my hands are all wet. Oh, I don't want to get it wet. I'm going to rub out these little lines that I put in.
What, pencil line?
Yeah. Don't want to.
Once you paint it over top of it, it can't. It's. I thought it was not possible to
no,
erase.
if you're careful, you can.
But not of the deer. You're keeping the deer. You're going to erase
well,
out.
I'm just gonna.
Oh my goodness!
I'm just gonna lightly get rid of it.
Okay.
Because I don't want it to show through after. Because there's only one run on this.
Really? Yeah. I don't mind pencil line showing through in a watercolor.
If I don't get it right this first time round, it's.
Oh my goodness! You're ripping it all away. I would need that there to follow as guidelines.
Oh no, I can still see it. I'm just taking a little bit of the. I can see it. So, and that's what matters, isn't it? Really.
Well, oh my goodness, purple paisley planner. This looks great and so fun to watch. So fun watching this. So I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you.
And Christopher Bacon says, I would like it to be foggy, like a cold morning.
Well, that's what that is.
It's
a graduation from a very light grey, and it graduates down until you start getting little bits of colour coming in, and then right here where you are, you can, because the fog isn't as strong between you and that, you can see more of the colour. And that's an example.
So making it foggy.
Yeah. Well, normally, if that weren't the case, that would be a blue sky in background, but it's white. You can add a little teeny weeny bit of purple to it, but I'm not going to do that at the moment. We'll see. I'm trying to keep that fairly plain because we're doing a weird coloured animal.
It's not weird anyway. So you were thinking about adding purple to the fog, you're saying?
Under normal circumstances, in a realistic painting, you probably would add a little bit of purple to it because we're doing this very colourful, vibrant deer.
Right.
I don't want any colour in the background, or as little as possible.
Right.
I don't want it to be complete. Look, we're going to be doing that.
And you don't want to confuse with that.
I don't want anything else to confuse it, because the reason why you see it normally is because it's a black silhouette against light. Because we're doing very colourful deer, we need to differentiate it from the background. So that's going to have lots of interesting colour, and the background is going to have nothing virtually. And that will help you see it's about contrast. So, right. What can I do here? There we go. I'm ready. Right, so what I'm going to do is get some water in there, in that area.
Purple Paisley Planner, did you get the did you get your Etsy message that I mailed out your package today? I mailed it out today. You should be getting it soon.
Not 100% sure as to whether I'm going to be doing an awful lot of colours in this. I think I overdid it with the colours.
Not on the what, on the deer?
On the other deer, yeah.
No.
I'm going to stick with autumny reds rather than put blues and greens in it. So
in the deer, there was no purple in the deer. You're just talking about the background?
No, in the deer. You know, this deer, when I were experimenting, I put blues in it, I put greens in it, I put yellows, I put reds, I put oranges, purples, but I'm going to limit that. I'm going to just put.
Really, I like how that looks.
Should I go right, guys? Should I go multicolored, or
I
should I
like
limit
that.
the amount of colors that I'm putting in? You got to be fast because I'm already in process of doing it.
Yeah, I like the way you did the original one.
I mean, there's nothing damaged yet. I can put. It's a very, expressive way of painting. There's no absolute thou shall do this.
Well, that's how I'm used to painting. That's how I paint.
What you have got to be careful with is not to be putting the same. If it's going to be a prominent thing, you must not make the edges of the deer the same value as the edges of the grass around it.
Oh, okay.
Or you'll lose the image.
Okay.
I mean, this because of its abstract, expressive nature of this painting or this style of painting. You're never going to get two paintings alike that are like that.
Oh, so this is not going to totally look like that original sample.
No, I mean, just think about your
I know exactly.
They're different every time, aren't they?
It's very hard to make two paintings alike. I know.
And with watercolor, it's even more complicated because watercolor does whatever it wants to do.
So does alcohol ink.
Well, yeah, because it's in a liquid form.
Right.
So, but it's just up to your imagination as to what would make an interesting set of combinations in colours. So I'm going to put some blue there. But you just got to be careful how much they spread into one another, because all it can do is make it look mucky. So that's what I'm battling against, really. Right, and when I get to the legs, I'm going to deliberately make that nearer to a green colour, because that then connects to the grass, and it grounds it, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Don't necessarily have to be blown it already.
You blown it?
I'm just going to have to go and get some tissue paper.
Chrissy Canvas Art says you wipe it and it's going to be okay.
It's all right. I know what I'm doing. There we go. Almost non-existent. Just put a little bit too juicy. Let me use the wrong brush here. I've got a nice little brush that I can work with these things, and I'm using a great big gigantic one. Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm typing a comment to somebody.
Oh yeah.
In the chat, and I will try to do.
Right. So we've got the basics of that what we did earlier, right? What I did earlier. Sorry.
Okay, hold on. I can't see that. I didn't look. Oh yeah, I see. Okay. And
I think it's ever so slightly too biased towards on that side. Let's see if I can nip a bit of that away. Yeah, that's nice. Right, I'm going to put the heat gun on it. Oh, wait a minute. This might. No, I'm gonna leave it.
Just says you're an expert.
Did she say I were an expert?
Yes.
Well, if Chrissy says I'm an expert, I don't know.
If she said you are, you are. Oh, that's right. That's the E word he hates hearing. He hates hearing expert. I had to stop saying expert, and I in my title I say watercolor painter extraordinaire.
It's not that I hate it or anything like that. It's just that you need to deserve to be an expert.
Oh my goodness, he's so humble.
No, end of the day, you look at professional watercolor artists in comparison to me, and I don't come anywhere near them.
Yes, you do. And then so Chrissy
I'm not pulling my work down. If we're pulling it down that badly.
No, everybody sees your work differently than you see it yourself.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, even Alvaro Castaneda that I quote on a regular basis.
What's he said? What did he say?
He looks at his work and goes, "Oh no, this is no good," and no,
right.
That's just what we all do. But nevertheless, that still don't make me as good as those artists. Whether I pull me art down or I don't pull me art down, there's some art I look at it and I think that's probably the best painting I've ever seen in my life. You know what I mean? But
and Grace says, "LOL," and here we go.
De-blobbing that.
Oops. You're still going. I don't know. Are we buffering?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Are we buffering? Because my watching on my iPad is all of a sudden stalled. But I see him keep going, but that's live stream.
No, I'm fine.
Are we buffering, everybody?
Well, I can hear you anyway.
I know, but we're on live. StreamYard.
Yeah. Oh well, buffering will happen individually for each individual, depending on what equipment they've got.
Nope, all is good. He says Grayscale Painting says nope, all is good, but it's not. And my iPad is not keeping up. So whatever. Okay.
I mean, that is sometimes down to the local.
Now I'm keeping up. Now I got it.
The local server.
No. It's me. I didn't press the arrow right.
All right. Right. I think that is good for the first coat. All right.
Okay.
So now I'm gonna. Because it might be the last time I can use this because it's bedtime for people in in the house.
And there we go. StreamYard quieted it down. I love that. I love how StreamYard does that. So like the first 10, 15 seconds you can hear is drying to a very loud, and after that, it quiets it down.
It's starting to come out nice, this. I think I like this one better than I like the other one.
I like them both the same. Oh, once you dried it, that changed it. The colors came out lighter.
Yeah, because I used colours and I mixed them a bit too much in the other painting.
I like them both the same.
What I will do is I want to get a tiny little bit of colour in there, because
what, in that back leg that looked like
that back leg, you just can't see it quite.
Yeah, the weight. So, they look like they're not holding any weight.
Yeah. Right. Not doing too badly.
There we go.
Right. So the only thing left to do on this painting, believe it or not, is do the detail. No, background's done.
What?
When you're in the photo, look, right. That is left white.
Oh, look at how you just put that at the top. I don't know about that vertical strip at the. Right. I mean, I don't know.
That's a tree. At the top. That area there is a tree, right? It's a tree that's in line with the deer, right?
Right.
Normally, this sky would be blue, but it isn't. It's foggy, so it's white.
Okay.
Yeah. And that fog gets less and less and less as you come more and more closer. So this bit here is green. So that's graduated.
Okay.
And that's your background. You don't need to do really overly complicated backgrounds when you've got a key thing that's colourful. You're going to spoil it. That's where a lot of people who do art make a big mistake. They want to put super detail everywhere in painting. No. Unless you're doing one of those hyper realistic paintings, fair enough. But most people don't do that.
Yeah. So if you're not doing hyper realistic, you should watch how much detail you put in.
Yeah, you've got to be balanced about it. Or everything. Just detailing every part of the painting to the exact same level will not give you a painting that looks right.
Oh, wait a minute. John Quinn says, is Ian's accent a Yorkshire accent? And then Christy said yes, and then she said, no, sorry, it's Lancashire.
Hey?
Which one is it?
No.
It is Yorkshire, right?
Yorkshire. It's here.
It's Yorkshire.
Yorkshire.
Yes, he has a Yorkshire accent.
Yorkshire accent, yeah. I've got what's called a Barnsley accent, actually.
Okay.
Barnsley.
You all have lovely accents. Me and Ian talking. Me? I have a lovely accent? Oh, God.
So,
thank you.
Right under normal circumstances, you put a very dark, you put a very dark colour over it to create accent and detail. But I don't want to do that. I'm just going to be very, very careful.
And that green that you put in the background of that deer probably shows stronger than it does on video, right?
It does. I mean, what you're seeing is nothing in comparison to the colours I'm seeing.
Okay. Okay, nice. So that was our interactive painting.
Virtually. I'm only a few seconds away from finishing.
Oh, what are you
Yeah.
adding more? What are you adding?
I'm just putting some emphasis in certain areas, like this, for example. Just to give it some sense of form and shape. And
it is foggy. That's why you kept the sky white. That the sky is white, right? Because it's foggy.
yeah.
And those are leaves at the top, right?
Yeah. Well, they're a branch of a tree.
Right.
Right.
Okay, thank you, everybody. I think it's wonderful. And today was our first time with Ian doing interactive painting. I've done it before with my own live streams. So I think this is one of the first time or the first time of us doing interactive painting with Ian.
Yeah, this is the first one we've done. Might be the last one.
The last one. I don't know.
No,
It didn't add to the watchers that were watching. So I thought it would, but it was worth a try. It was worth a try.
You know, we try and cater for people. If people want interaction, then they need to contribute towards it, don't they? Really. So
Yeah, I know. So okay, and then Grayscale Painting says he's from Utica Shire. He's joking. He's from Utica, New York. So he made a joke saying he's from Utica Shire.
Right. I don't live that far away from the place where you nicked your city from, the name.
Oh, where Grayscale got the name from his city, his town?
No, well, New York, right?
Oh, right.
There's a city called York, right?
Oh, yes, right.
And it's the capital city of Yorkshire.
Right.
And I don't live that
That's
far
probably
away from it.
when the settlers came over. Yeah. Maybe they were from Yorkshire, and that's why they called it New York, because it was new.
My area is synonymous with those people who came over.
Right.
A lot of your ancestors come from my area.
Yes, right.
So
thanks, Ian.
Well, that's it. Let's just see if we can well, we've done two paintings in 2 hours, apart from a bit of waffling.
And you were able to do two paintings because you made them smaller. You're doing half sheet paintings.
Yeah, so it might be a format that we do another time.
Another time we do this interactive painting where we're asking the audience like what colors to use and stuff like that. So we tried that today just to see.
And the quick, almost like thumbnail paintings. They're bigger than a thumbnail, but obviously. But I didn't deliberately go out of my way to do something that I thought, right, I've got at least an hour to do one painting. So what can I do within an hour? And
so you knew these half sheet paintings. Did you know the half sheet paintings would each take an hour long, probably?
Well, I know that the full sheet, right, of a painting
takes 2 hours.
round about 2 hours, hasn't it? So it's a fair bet
Yeah.
that, I mean, we didn't get started until quite late into thing, but it's a fair bet that 2 paintings split into, and we had to do some waffling for this as well, didn't we?
What's the full sheet size? What's that full sheet size for your watercolor paper?
Right, sure. Let me have a look. You'll probably not understand it anyway. 24 by 32 centimeters.
5 centimeters. Okay. Maybe 12 by 16
blame
inches.
Germany for that. Blame
It might
Germany,
be
not
12 by
us.
16 inches.
Let me just have a look with Trusty. 24 centimeters.
Bye, Chrissy.
These are rough estimates, right? 9.5 inches.
Really? 9.5 inches?
Yeah, 24 centimeters by 32. Where's 32? 32. That's that's 11. That's 12. 12 and about 12 and a half. 12 and a half inches.
9 by 12?
Yeah, around about 9 by
Oh
12.
my goodness, that's small.
And that's cutting
It
half.
looks much bigger. It looks much bigger on the video. It looks much bigger.
No, it's round about standard size for
Oh
painting that.
So, great.
Obviously, right? I mean, I'm when I get a bit of time, a bit of me time, I'll have a look at these paintings, and I'll finish them off to a level that I'm absolutely happy with. But for demonstration, for demonstration purposes, I'm fairly happy with those.
Mystic Unigon says there's a county in Pennsylvania called York County.
Yeah,
actually, we have a road. We have a very major road right near where I live, which is has York in the name.
York. Well, that's because of the connection to New York, isn't it?
No, I'm 2 hours away from New York.
Yeah.
I don't know. And Grayscale Painting says this is well done and a great segment.
Thank you. So
yeah, so
do we think that went well rather than painting that as a silhouette, completely black?
I like it like I love the painting. I mean, like I like the deer painted like that.
I mean, you could take this down the fantasy route.
I'm not sure about the background. I'm not. Maybe I wouldn't like fog. Maybe I would not prefer fog. I would prefer maybe some leaves falling or something like that.
Yeah, but would that contribute to that, or would it take away from it?
I don't know.
That's what you have to ask.
The vertical right at the top, I'm not sure I like it. I think I would almost like a little bit of a diagonal going on.
Well, I thought about putting a tree there somewhere in silhouette, but I don't know. I just prefer the clear whiteness.
Yes.
To the strong colour.
Right. I see what you mean.
It gives you that sense of depth.
Yeah.
If I start putting things in there, you'll lose that sense of depth.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be foggy.
Right.
And once you get a few feet away from yourself with fog, you see less.
Yeah. If it's foggy, it should be like that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I like Mystic Unicorn says I like the deer. Reminds me of different colored leaves in autumn.
Well, I mean, that's what I was thinking. Like, you know, if it had these like autumn, maybe it's like the king stag that brings on an autumn or something, like some sort of mythical creature. You could literally put a glow around it and have little fairies flying around and things like that. You know what I mean? If you're that way inclined. So, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Ian.
There you go. So, everybody, thank you for being on and encouraging me to get on with some artwork. And for all you,
I think this is beautiful. The deer.
well, I'll be once they're in a point of completion, I'll be putting them up on my Facebook or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, Facebook.
And we'll.
That's
we'll
where
take
he
it from
posts
there.
on Facebook.
Yeah.
And he has a YouTube channel, but I'm sorry I didn't post it in today, and I got to put it on my Word document so that way I can go back and forth copy and pasting.
I think everybody who I can see, everybody I can see in the chat.
Maybe not all.
I think they're all subscribed to me anyway, so it's not.
We have some new people in here.
Okay.
Thanks, Purple Pages Planner, for she says thank you, Ian. Always fun.
Okay. Yeah. We didn't get on to any real mega controversies today, did we? We'll have to up his controversiality next week.
What do you mean controversial?
Well, we generally get into some argument over art, don't we? So,
I don't know. It's
not argument. There's nothing wrong with argument if it's done in the right way.
A difference of viewpoint.
Yeah, well,
whatever, the same.
That's what a creative team does. You bring something different to the table.
Okay.
You? So, right then.
Okay, thanks, Ian. I thank my moderators. Thank you, everybody. Love and hugs. Bye.
Bye. Take care and enjoy your art.
And I might be coming on tomorrow with. I know I have not done my own painting live stream, art live stream in like 4 to 6 weeks, and so I'm going to try for tomorrow.
I want to see you doing I want to challenge you to do one of these.
What? You're painting?
No, not this paint. I'm on about like a deer that's all colourful like that. You don't have to do it in. You don't have to do it in watercolor.
That'd be a whole different video. That's a whole different video. You want to challenge me to do a painting, a deer painting like that?
Something. Well, how would you? Right, you've already said to me you would interpret this in a different way.
The background in a different way.
So go on then. Even if you take this picture, and do it digitally, because I know you like doing digital, and you alter the background.
Oh, and even do it digital, you mean?
Yeah, you alter it how you want to alter it, and then show me what it is.
Oh, okay. I could do that because I can always like do it, and you can like fix your mistakes like all the so many times in digital. It's so easy to fix your mistakes in digital.
Mask your deer off and make it separate, and then you can work on your background however you want without it damaging it. So there you go. That's my challenge to you.
All right, I might get to it in the next week.
Oh, don't be. You know, I'm not saying you must do it absolutely now. I'm saying when you've got time to do it, you have a go.
Okay.
You show me how you would alter that.
How would I do the background?
Yeah. Because I need to see visually what you mean.
Well, and do use your deer. Use your deer. I should paint my own deer.
Well, as long as the deer's in keeping with that kind of thing, then, you can paint your own deer.
Okay.
It's just that I need to see how you adjust having a very colourful foreground against this wheat background.
All right, have a good weekend, everybody.
All right, then. There you go.
Thank you. Okay, thanks for the challenge, Ian. For your challenge today, and thank you for doing the challenge today, the interactive paintings.
We'll be back another time.
Yeah, in the future.
We'll be back to normal programming next week.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.